Hello, it's Birdy. So we're gonna go back to the beginning from when I started these videos in 2024 in February because there's too much information and I was trying to get them done quickly because the angel said I had a time zone to get them done in. I had to get 40 of them done in this time zone, which I messed up completely. I didn't accomplish that goal. So I'm gonna try to do this very first video better, and I'm going to split into 3 videos because there's too much information in the very first video. A lot of them, there's too much information. I might have to go back and split them up or something. So let's start with my grandmother on my dad's side, my grandmother on my mom's side. A lot of these given abilities go to females that have psychic abilities. It's rare for a male to have it, but males do have it. Let's say like you're left-handed. It's 1 in 10 people are left-handed, and in psychic ability, it's 9 out of 10 girls will have it, and 1 male. So I'm the 1 out of 10. But that's still a lot of males that have psychic abilities. Now the reason I'm doing these videos is because the angels asked me to do them because of people who have gifts and they're supposed to use them. Not just psychic abilities, people that can kick the ball farther than anybody else, people that can throw the ball faster than anybody, people who can hit, people who can swim. If you have some type of God-given ability, you're supposed to use it. And I was supposed to try to tell you that it's real and that God exists and that He's given all kinds of people these abilities to do so in their lives. And I'll attempt to demonstrate some of the situations that have happened in my life and how I've used my psychic ability in order to improve people's lives and help them. All right, so let's start from when I was born. I'm born the same day as my mother. My mother was born on the 10th of April, 1933. And I don't like saying my age that much, so I'm not going to say it, but I'm born the same day as my mother. And you can tell by the video that I'm an elderly person. Well, not too elderly. Anyway, so let's go on. She was born stillbirth. So whenever a person is born and then they're not alive, and then, a few hours later they're alive and they don't realize because she was born on Easter Sunday, and then they woke up in the morning and she was alive and they're like, wow, so that's stillbirth. So she was dead for a while, then she lived. When that happens, with her mother on her side having the abilities, it won't skip a generation. It'll go straight to my mother. On my father's side, from my grandmother, my father's side, it skipped a generation and went to me. So in this instance, I'll get double the power, like double the abilities. So you got to remember, the way my mom was, all of my siblings will have some type of abilities because of her stillbirth death. That when you die, it doesn't matter. Something will come to you, especially when it's not your fault. If it's your fault, it might be some type of abilities that might be negative. If it's not your fault, then it's always positive abilities to help you. So, anyway, I was born, and my grandmother told my mother, she said, because it was a full moon or something like that, and it was the same day as my mother, and I was born on Easter Sunday as well. So she said to him, she goes, when he is able to talk, he must pray. So I would pray when I was born, morning, noon, and night. And the reason for that, my grandmother told my mother, is we want him to be good, because you have your choice to be good or bad. And with God-given abilities, it can go either way. And I try to do my best to be good. It's very difficult sometimes, but I'm doing it. I'm working it. It's hard. But so you gotta understand that I was seeing things and hearing things as a child, and my parents told me never to tell anybody. And my grandmother too, because this is on my father's side, because my grandmother on my mother's side was in Italy. And they would say, you got to pray, you can't tell anybody, you hear voices or see things. And this is around the time when you're in school that kids are being taken away for whatever reason, and you don't know why. So it was kind of scary. And so I thought, if I tell anybody I see voices or hear things or see things that are not there or predict things and they come true, they told me not to tell nobody. And they said they'll take me away. And I witnessed children being taken away in my classroom. So I said to myself, yeah, I'm not going to tell nobody. I'm not going to tell nobody. But anyway, my first really major encounter with ghosts would have been when I was about 6 or 7 years old. And at that time, I have 4 brothers and 4 sisters, but they weren't all born at that time when I was 6, because I'm in the middle. I'm like the 3rd youngest. So there would be 2 in front of me, and I think there was 2 behind me. I think there's 5 born at the time. Yeah, pretty sure either 5 or 6, because you're a child. You got a lot of brothers and sisters. It's wild. Yeah, I would say there was 6, because I think the youngest one is 6 years. The youngest one is 15 years younger than me. Then the other one is 10 years. So I'm just trying to figure the math of where I was at 7 years old. So I think we were probably 7 children. And then the other 2 were born after that when I was 7. Because I think it's approximately 6 or 7 when I first had my first encounter with the ghosts. Now, I was seeing things and hearing things the whole time, but I didn't know what they were. And I was talking to them too, and I didn't know what they were. But at this particular moment, I'm going to the washroom, and because there's so many brothers, sisters, and siblings and people around, we're living in the city of London, Ontario, and I go into the washroom to get some privacy with my friends. And I lock the door, and I start playing with them. And they would love to play war. It's like a game they used to have on the school where you travel to this place and you conquer it and this and that. But we would play it together, and we'd grab all kinds of little tissue papers and make little rolls out of them. But what I was noticing is I was the only one making these little roll ball things so we could play and give them to everybody. But I guess because they thought I was, the president or something like that. But all of a sudden I hear my mom knocking on the door. And she goes to me, who are you talking to? I said, Mom, I'm playing with my friends and we want some privacy, and this is the only place we can get privacy. My mom goes to me, she goes, you're the only one in the washroom. You went in there by yourself. All your brothers and sisters are out here. I said, no, I brought my friends in with me. And she goes, no, you didn't. You're by yourself. And the only person we hear talking is you. So I'm like, what? I go, no, guys, talk up. Say something. My mom can't hear you. And they're like yelling, screaming. But my mother couldn't hear them. So I started to wonder. I said, what's going on here? So I said, listen, I tried to grab one of the people I thought were children like me, and my hands went through them. I said, oh my God. Then I got a little scared. These are ghosts. And I knew I was talking to them and playing with them, but I didn't know that they were ghosts. And so I started to ask them questions. I go, well, why me? And she goes, no one else, they're all males actually. The one guy goes, you're the only one that can see us. You're the only one that can communicate with us. I go, that's impossible. There's got to be millions of people that can communicate with you. And they go, no, nobody can. You're the only one. And we can only go so far. I guess they must have died close to where I was living at the time. I think there was 3 or 4 of them with me in the bathroom playing the game. And I found out that I'm in contact with ghosts and these things are not real. I had to focus my eyes because I started to notice that they're like a mist and a body shape and everything, and you can see them really good. But I'm also colorblind, so I can't really see color 100%. And I was looking right through them without knowing I was looking right through them, if you can understand that. But that was my first encounter with ghosts. Birdy signing out.